Welcome to SpurMax. This is something we are trying for the first time, something new. A way for us to communicate a bunch of things and how you can use Spur to the maximum, as you might have seen in the video that I made, right? Um, so yeah, that's basically it. We're going to be sharing a bunch of use cases and sharing a bunch of features that not a lot of brands, not a lot of people are using. That Spur ships with, and your subscription already has that, so why not use it, right? That was the whole idea behind SpurMax. So yeah, just a second. All right. So I guess we can just start rolling with it. Uh, the very first thing that we would want to share with you guys, and a bunch of people, like very few brands are using it, are pop-ups and welcome message. If you saw the video which I shared alongside this, the announcement of this webinar, I shared a use case where photo views got roughly 2.8 lakhs in a single week, right? And what they were doing was simply using pop-ups. Now, pop-ups and welcome messages on Spur, you can find them under automation, basic automation. That's where you'll find your welcome flows, right? And pop-ups are, you can find them under marketing tools and pop-ups, right? So what does this look like, right? So a welcome message is just a message which gets sent out to people when they as soon as they open your chat on WhatsApp, right? So if anyone has ever opened a chat, logged just by clicking through the widget, or by just scanning a QR code or clicking a link to your WhatsApp chat, that's the message that we send. Now, the way it works is that we get all of their details, right? We get their phone number, their WhatsApp name. Because we get all of that, it's a very viable way and very easy way to generate leads, right? These people are trying to interact with you on WhatsApp. They've opened the WhatsApp chat. That means that they they have some purchase intent, they have some intent of interacting with the brand, and then you can target these people based on that. So by default, so this what you see here is not our default flow. This is not what we ship with. It's just a single message that you can send. And as you might know, with WhatsApp, you cannot send a unprecedented message, like unsolicited message, unless and until it is approved, or you have a conversation already ongoing with a brand, sorry, with a customer. So that's what we call the 24-hour window, right? So you need to send templates. But specifically for the welcome message, you can send out a normal message, right? You can send one normal message, and after that, you can send out templates. And that way, it's a perfect way of generating leads, right? If you have a physical presence, for example, let's say you have a store, or you're selling products, you're showcasing products in a physical setting, you just put a QR code to your WhatsApp chat. If anyone scans that QR code, you have their phone number. It's as simple as that, right? And similarly, if they open your WhatsApp chat through a link, or through through the chat widget that we have, you have their number. So it's an amazing way to generate leads. But even better is pop-ups, right? And that's what photojuice use. So pop-ups appear. If I can just open a different tab, I'll show you how they look by default. So and like I said, if someone has anything to say, if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I'll read those. So just all right. So pop-ups are essentially when someone opens your website for the first time, they see a pop-up where they can enter their number and get XYZ offers. If you don't want to send offers, that's completely fine. You can set up the offers, what offers you want people to see, and the chances of them getting that. We have a spin the wheel thing. with ecom sense, and we have where was it? It was we have a simple join our VIP list to get a 10% discount if you put in your phone number. So it's basically another way of generating leads, right? If someone is on your website, right, they just need some push to just make a purchase, right? Just some push, and this is basically achieving that, right? You get their number. If you want to, if you give them some discount and you target them on WhatsApp. Hey, you're already there. You're on the cusp of making that purchase. Why not go ahead and do that, right? So I'll walk you through on how it actually works. So if you open Spur, under marketing tools, you'll find pop-ups, right? You can go ahead and click on configure, and we have a setup guide here as well. So if you miss out on this, you can just go ahead and click on this setup guide, and you'll have step-by-step instructions on how to implement these pop-ups on your website, right? So this is our demo account. So we have already created both the messaging template and the workflow. So I'll just walk you through what has to be done. The first thing that you need to do is you need to install an app on your Shopify store. That's ecom send pop-up Shopify app, right? Again, if you click this setup guide, it's the very first link there, right? So you don't need to worry even if I put it in chat, you don't need to worry. If you open the pop-up setting and click on setup guide, it'll be the very first thing. So you won't miss out on that, right? Now there are a bunch of settings that you have to do here. You have to go once you install the app. Just go to the ecom sense thing. Click under apps and click on enable app embed. This actually enables the app to actually like put the pop-up on your website. It's embedding into your website. Uh, so yeah, once you enable the embed, the next thing that you need to do is go to pop-ups and actually configure your pop-up, right? So if you can see, this is our test store. On the left-hand side, you can see pop-ups, right? And under pop-ups, you can see that we have created a bunch of pop-ups here, right? I believe UcomSense also has a default pop-up that you can edit, right? And you can go ahead and click on customize on any of the pop-ups, and you can change what offers you want to display, and you can change how it looks. You can change the style of it so it matches better with your brand, right? You can change the color. You can obviously change the text of the pop-up. For example, if you do not want like enter your WhatsApp number for the chance to win a discount, you want to add some emojis to that, right? You want to add some make it look more a little bit more familiar. If you don't want to take their name, that's also completely fine. Just ask people to you know add just ask people to thanks Prince for the sharing guides. So yeah, Prince is also sharing some guides in the chat for this, right? You can also just ask people to enter their phone number, so that makes it so that there is less friction and you can get more leads. Yeah. Once you've set up your pop-up here, so we'll just go with the pop-up that we've already set here. You can go back to Spur and click on create messaging template, right? Once you click on this, a messaging template for this particular use case, for this, the default one that we have, we'll create that for you, right? So that it requires minimal setup, right? Because, or otherwise you can also create our own template, that's completely fine as well. But we also have a default one, and that is ecom spin the wheel, ecom send spin the wheel pop-up, right? So this is the default one that we ship with, and it's standard stuff. Hey there, thank you for subscribing with, and again, you can change the text if you'd like. You have one XYZ discount if you want, if you're giving a discount. And okay, this is something I did not walk you through. If you do not want to give a discount, the idea here is if we are pushing people to make their first purchase, that when they're first landed on the website, right? We're generating leads and we're pushing them to make a purchase. But if you do not want to give them a discount, you think that's not something that aligns with your brand or that doesn't make sense for you guys, under ecom sync pop-up, you have the option to select no discount as well. And again, you can change the text to say join our VIP list instead of get a discount on your first purchase or something along those lines. So that's completely up to you how you want to engage with people. The idea is just get their phone number to, then be able to market to them. So yeah, where I was, okay. So we just click on hey there, thank you for subscribing with one, which is the brand name. You have one, click the button below, click to copy. Now there's two buttons. There's a copy offer code. So once someone taps on this copy offer code button, the code that we'll set right now will get copied, and the other button is start shopping. This is the default one, and like I said, you can change it. We'll go back now under pop-ups. Now, once we're done with that, we've set up the template. The second thing we'll do is create workflow. Again, this is our default workflow. And once you click on it, it will set that up. The guide that Prince has so kindly linked right now also tells you if you want to, like, how to set a custom flow if you want to do that. But for now, we'll go with our default flow. So when you click on create workflow and go to automation, you'll see ecom send spin the wheel pop up. That's the one that we'll create. And if you click on edit, you'll see this is the flow. And I'll walk you through the flow, what it's doing. So essentially, when someone puts their number in on your website, a customer is created on Shopify, right? So we detect when that customer is created. Next, we check if that customer has certain tags. So ecom sends, what it does, it puts a ecom send pop-up tag on that customer. So we know if this customer that has been created is through ecom sends, that pop-up. And lastly, what we do is we send them different messages using this condition block, depending on what offer that they got, right? So if they got a free shipping offer, right, we send them this message. If they got a 10% off discount, we'll send them this message. And if they got 15% off, we'll send them this message. And again, ecom puts the offer that they got as a tag. So we are just detecting it based on the tag that they have put on the contact itself, right? Now, what and again, if you don't want to have like different messages for different people, if you don't want to give any discounts, you can get rid of this condition block entirely. You can just directly, connect this to that one message, and on here you can see the message, the template that we created by default being used here, right? You'd need to fill in certain things like add the image that you want. By default, we're using this standard image. If you can see, this is the image that we're using, and you would need to fill in these variables. So store name is the name of your store. It will fill in automatically. 10% off is the offer that we're giving to these people, right? Because they got that on the spin the wheel thing. And if you're not, we can again just change that. And copy offer code is a code that you'd have to create on your Shopify based on the offers that you're offering. Offers that you're offering. So let's say if someone got free shipping, right? You need to create a code for free shipping that you can just paste here. So for example, where you went into your Shopify, you created a code, and that is FS100, and you just pasted it here. That's it. That's as simple as that. And similarly for 15% off, let's say you went into your Shopify, created a 15 off code, and then you pasted it. So it's going to be a static code that we'll send to anyone who fills in, who puts their number in the pop-up. So yeah, it's as simple as that. As soon as they put in their number, a customer is created, and we send them a WhatsApp message. We get to target them. In the future, if you want to, let's say if this guy has not made a purchase, right? You want to send these guys a broadcast to further embolden their trust in you. You can go ahead and go into segments, and you can create a segment. We can use this template for contacts with Xtag, right? You can use this template and edit this segment, select an operator, and here you can select ecom sends pop-up, right? So because that tag is being added to that contact, right? So that way you can target these people again and again if you like. Uh, because this is our default account, this is our sorry, this is because this is a demo account. We do not have any contacts with this with this tag. But trust me, when you search for it, you'll see ecom sends under here, right? And then you can select that, and all of those people who have come through pop-up, then you can target them on broadcast and such. All right, perfect. So this is how pop-ups work, and this is how also welcome messages work. Whenever someone opens your WhatsApp chat, you get their number. Do we have any doubts regarding this? Any questions? Anything? You can put them in the chat. The chat is open to everyone. Let me know. And like I said, with pop-ups, PhotoJuice made roughly 2.8 lakhs in the last 7 days. So it has a huge ROI, and we'd like a lot of our brands to use it. But we can see on the back end that not a lot of people have this on, right? So yeah, please make you can use this to get more leads and to embolden, give people more trust to, they're already on the website, on your website, just give them that little bit more push to just make that first purchase. um, the second thing on our agenda today is getting greater ROIs with more focused targeting and more appealing messages. Now, what a lot of brands do is, I'll give you an example, right? I test a lot of flows for a lot of brands, and what a lot of brands do is they just shoot and uh, you know spray and pray with their marketing efforts, right? So I tested. Okay, we got a message from Siba. Is it possible to customize the data collecting options? Like if you want to collect customer birth month with phone number, is it possible? I believe it should be. So in the e-coms and pop-ups, you can see, okay, so there is no direct way of collecting that form field. There is no form field for that. However, what you can do is we are sending them a message once they've filled in their number, right? So we are sending them this message. What you can do is you can go to WhatsApp, we'll create a message, and I'm just gonna create one, uh, and you can obviously edit the template. Uh, Tell us your birth month to get 10% off. Again, you can customize it however you want it to be, and click on show and flow data, and I'll put in birth, right? So another way of doing this, and in fact, a better way to do this would be to send a message text with buttons, which will have all the months: April, May, June, July, right? So I'll also show you how that would work. Select your birth month to get 10% off. And I understand that here your goal might be to send them a message in their birth month to give them some sort of discount in that month specifically. But again, you can use that way. And all these, I'll create a bunch of. Oh, okay. Sorry, I made a small mistake here. Again, I make mistakes as well, even though I've used Spur on the daily. Instead of button message, we'll be selecting list messages. Button messages have a limit to the number of messages that you can send. List messages are roughly, uh, you know, they are birth month to 10%. List messages are roughly incorrect. So I'm just gonna add months, January, I'll select another month, February and March. We'll just work with 3 right now, but again, you can add all the 12 months, right? And after we have sent this message, right? I'm gonna delete this first one. After we have sent this message, or after we have, or if can make it part of your first message itself, right? You can connect it here, right? And then you can create an action for each month. So you can click on, I just went into, I clicked on the plus icon and clicked on action. I can click on click to add an action, and I'll click on, I'll select add Spur tag to contact. And the Spur tag for each month would be, for example, January, right? I'll enter that. I'll then duplicate this node. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, it has been duplicated here. Here I'll change it to February, right? And this other duplicate that I made, I'll add March here, right? And then I can connect it. Oh, just a second, I have to first. Okay, perfect, right? And March. So why are we doing this? I'll walk you through the entire thing. So within the e-com send pop-up itself, there was no option to for people to select their birth month. So what we are doing is, because we are sending them a WhatsApp message anyway, right? So we are collecting their birth month in the WhatsApp message, right? So when we are sending them a WhatsApp message, maybe the first one or the second one, this will have to be a template, by the way. Uh, yeah, and based on what selection they are making, we are saving what month is selected as a contact tag, right? So January, February, March, and likewise for each and every month. Now when you go into segments, I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now when you go into segments, you can now create a segment where it says contact with X tag, where X is any tag, right? You can go ahead here and you can then broadcast certain things on those months. So here you'll see January, February, March, April, and all of those months that you've configured. So that's how it's sort of workaround, but that's how we're doing it. And then you can then broadcast in based on whatever you want to, like however you want to do that, right? So yeah, this is how it will work. Again, if you have any more questions, feel free to add them to the chat. Perfect. So where were we? Yeah. So what a lot of brands do with their broadcasts is they just pray and pray, right? Okay, thanks, Siva. All right. They just pray and pray. They just message all of their contacts. And I'll give you an example. I test a lot of flows for a bunch of bunch of our brands, and almost daily I get a message about buying saris, a marketing message, like almost like roughly 2 3 days. Now I'm not going to be buying a sari anytime soon. Nobody in my family is, and I'm not going to be wearing a sari anytime soon. But that brand is spending money on marketing to me. You know, that's wasted money, right? And if I'm getting those messages despite never having interacted with the brand, then you can imagine that other people are also getting that same message, and that's money you're spending on your marketing that's getting wasted, right? So your ROIs dip because you're marketing to a whole lot of people who are not really interested in your products, or haven't showed any signs of being interested in the products. So how do we rectify it? How do we get greater ROIs by focusing things, making sure we target people who actually have purchase intent? So that's what I'm going to show now. So could you please explain about creating chat automation? Like what does action, delay, etc. do? Why and how can we use them, and what do they do? All right. This would be a little bit of a tangent, and if you go through our demo video and a bunch of our tutorials, right? If you go to our YouTube channel, for example, it's at spurnow.com. Sorry, at spurnow. I'll add it to the chat as well. This is our YouTube, and we also have help.spurnow.com. So these are where you'll get guides. On YouTube, you'll get video guides, and on help.spurnow.com, you'll get text guides, and that's where you'll these things will be explained in much more depth. This session is primarily for using features that are all that boost sales and such basic concepts we are not covering here. But if we have some time at the end, maybe I can go through that, right? So I've kept your message, Manisha. I bookmarked it, and if we get some time, I'll get through those things and I'll explain what each of those actions does, if time permits, right? All right, Manisha. Um, so where were we? So yeah. So how do you target people who have purchase intent, right? You do it through segments, of course. Now, under segments, we already have a bunch of templates that you can select, right? But I'll go ahead and start from scratch. Now, how do we detect if someone has purchase intent, right? There are multiple ways of doing that. First is if they have viewed a particular product at least once in the last, let's say, 30 days, right? In the last 30 days, they have viewed a product on your website. So that means that they're thinking about making a purchase, right? That's one way of filtering that out, right? Another way would be to, uh, you know, just a second. If they have in your past broadcast, right? If they have clicked a message, right? So let's say you sent out a broadcast. People who are clicking those messages means that these people are interested in engaging with your brand, right? So for example, I'll go to message activity, I'll click on WhatsApp clicked at least once, and I can select a particular automation flow or a broadcast that I might have sent in the past, right? So I'll select a broadcast and I'll select number 6, for example. So all the people who clicked on the link that I sent in my previous broadcast, that means that they're interested, right? So now when I'm filtering out all the people who did not click on my previous broadcast, I'm cutting down on the money that I spent in sending out the messages to people who are not even interested, right? Similarly, if I'm filtering out, I'm adding a condition based on website activity and whether they have been checking out my products in the last 30 days or last x amount of time. I'm making sure I'm messaging people who have that purchase intent, who are checking out my products, who are checking out my website, right? So they just need a little bit of push and I can push my products on WhatsApp, right? So that's how you can create segments of people who are actually interested in your products, right? Segments are dynamic, right? So for example, if I create in a segment which says interested folks, I can go ahead and click on our condition here to add our second case as well. Message activity uh, clicked at least once, and we selected a broadcast. So, right? And now interested. So these are dynamic. What dynamic means is this will keep on updating. This segment will keep on updating. So this segment that are interested here, as you can see, right? And now when I'm targeting these people, uh, I know that I'm reducing my ROI because I've filtered out to people who are only who are interested in my products, in my messaging so far. So I'm targeting those people, and now I'm reducing my cost of marketing because I'm you know uh, focusing on these people. Of course, there's ways of getting there's use cases where you might want to target everyone, right? But then you can focus and have different segments for different cohorts. So for example, let's say I have a sale this month, right? I have a sale and I want to target people who are already who have purchased my products and give them a separate offer, message them something else. And also want people who have never purchased anything from me. I want to message these people to try and get their attention, right? So I can create two separate segments, one of people who are interested and another of people who might not have shown interest, or maybe I want to recapture them. Someone might have made a purchase in 2022, I want to recapture them, right? And then I can make two separate segments, and for that same sale I'm sending two broadcasts. And one broadcast for people who are already interested, maybe the message is not as attractive, maybe the offers that we are sending are not as aggressive. And to people who I want to recapture, the message that being communicated to them, it's more aggressive, it's more focused to get those people uh, to engage back with your brand. So that's what you can do with segments, right? You can create segments based on different use cases. You can create segments based on people who are interested, who are not interested. And if you click on create segments, you have a bunch of templates that you can select, right? Your loyal customers, your champions, people who have purchased certain product, you want to upsell, sorry, cross sell them something else. So you can do all of that. All right, perfect. And another equation, another part of marketing, right? Getting greater ROIs is to not just use simple messages, right? A lot of brands, what they do is when they're creating a template, right? When they're creating a template, they'll just create a custom marketing template, even though we have a bunch of other ways in which they can more attractive looking messages where they can stand out from the crowd, basically, right? So I'll show you an example. This is a message that I got from Pizza Hut, right, a bunch of months back. And you can see that this is a marketing message with a carousel. You know, a carousel message stands out, right? You have a bunch of things, it's more interactive. You have a bunch of products that you can, showcase, right? So you have all of these things. You can go into template, you can create a custom template, you can select carousel here, right? Within Spur. So when you're creating a template, you can create a carousel message, right? You also have limited time offer templates. So the message that we showed previously, where in our previous example for ecom sense, this is a limited time offer template. So it has a custom text. It tells you if an offer ends at a particular time, right? And it has the copy offer code button, right? So it has all of these features. So instead of just sending a simple message, with your link, with a link to your website, with a link with just an image or maybe a video, right? You can jazz up your messaging. You can make it stand out. You can showcase certain products by using templates that are like a carousel message or a limited time offer message like this, right? And that helps you stand out. So you're spending the same amount of money whether you're sending a simple message or if you're sending a fancy one like this. So I say, why not send a fancy one that might get more eyeballs, right? So that's two ways in which you can get greater ROIs with your broadcast, right? You're segmenting them, you're filtering out the people who are actually interested, and you're making sure that your messages are more attractive, right? So these are two things. Um, do we have any questions regarding this? Do we have anything you guys might want to add to this? Please do let me know in the chat right now. There's another thing that I think I can share in the meantime, when if all right. So while you guys are typing messages, if you have any questions, there's this thing called fancy text generator. On Google, if you search for fancy text generator, you'll find this, right? So, and what this does is it gives you the options to add certain fonts or certain, let's say, make your text look fancier in certain cases. For example, in the case of Pizza Hut, you can see that the word cheese has been highlighted like this, right? So what I can do is I can just type in cheese here, and you can see on the right hand side, I see all of these fonts that I can select. Right? I can put cheese in reverse if I want to. There's blocks, there's circles, etc. So instead of just typical highlighting where you can just you get bold, italics, and all of that, you can go to a fancy text generator. Just search on Google fancy text generator, right? And you can add such fancy text here. And in order to use this in a template or Spur, you just go ahead and copy this. I will just press Control C. I could just, copy this. And when I'm creating my template, I'll just go ahead and paste it. So the text will appear as it's appearing here, right? So that's another way. I don't think anyone has shared any doubts with this, so I guess we can move ahead now. The next thing you might want to do is have different experiences for different audiences. Now, on WhatsApp, you might have seen that, okay, just a second. For automation, we have a 24-hour time to communicate with customer with a single utility cost. So is it possible to send follow-up messages after the broadcast done on the same contact? 24-hour time to communicate with the so if you want a follow-up if you want to send a follow-up message, you can obviously do that. The way to do it would be to again create a segment, right? So how we'll do it is, let's say we'll go create a segment. Let's say you sent a broadcast today, right? You sent a broadcast and you want to send these guys a follow-up within 24 hours. The window does not matter, because when you're sending out a broadcast, you're already sending out a template, right? So you'll have to create a follow-up template, right? uh, let's say I'll create a template and I'll message it, I'll name it follow up after broadcast, right? I'll create this template and I'll add my text, whatever it is. So this is my follow up, right? I can add buttons and all of that stuff. I'm just, for this example, I'm not going to do that. I'll submit this for review, right? Now, what you want to do is you want to create a segment. You want to start from scratch, and in message activity, you can select message activity. You can select WhatsApp send, delivered, clicked. Again, it's depends on what you want to target, right? Delivered at least once, and you can select the broadcast that you sent previously. So let's say you sent broadcast number 6 today, right? You sent broadcast number 6 today, and you want to take a follow up with these people after 12 hours, right? What is right now? It's currently 1:40 p.m. right now. So you sent it at 1:40 p.m. today, right? So now this segment you can create for WhatsApp delivered at least once overall time, and I will message it like I'll name it follow up people, right? I'll save this. Okay. So this is a known error. We're working on fixing that. Within this week, we'll fix this. So follow-up people I've created, right? And this will, like I said, update dynamically. So if the broadcast is still being sent, or if the broadcast is still, let's say, in its running phase, right? This will get populated automatically. That's fine. Now what I'll do is I'll go to, so is it come in the same marketing cost, or we need to pay again if we send the message on the 24-hour time? You're sending it, so the payment is for a 24-hour conversation, right? So I'll have to confirm this. I think Rohan, if he's in call, he may be able to confirm it, but I do not think you'll have to pay again for that same thing, right? Because these conversations are for a 24-hour window. But before the end of this call, I'll confirm it and let you know. All right. Uh, Thanks for asking that. So I'll confirm it and let you know. But 90% I'm sure that you won't be charged again if you message within that 24-hour window. So before 24 hours, if you do it, that's completely fine. Uh, so follow up after broadcast, you'll click on plus new broadcast, follow up after broadcast. That's the template that we created, and you can schedule it. So we sent this previous broadcast at 1:40 p.m. right? You can schedule it after 12 hours. So I'll just schedule it for 8 p.m. today, right? Okay, 8 p.m. right? So at 8 p.m. I'm taking a follow up to all the people who the previous broadcast was, whom the previous broadcast was already delivered, right? Because that's the segment we created for follow up people, right? So these are the people I'm basically scheduling this broadcast for, and I can then go ahead and schedule this broadcast. And at 8 p.m., a follow-up message will be sent to everyone who has already received the previous message. I hope that's clear now. And again, I'll get back to you on whether we'll be charged again for that or not. We most likely should not, but I'll get back to you. All right, I'll delete this so because we don't want to send any messages right at 8 p.m. All right. So you were a different experience for different audience. So you might have noticed that a bunch of people might find it difficult uh, to answer your messages if they are only in English, right? So let's say India is a diverse country. We have a bunch of languages, and not a lot of people know English. But a dilemma is that if not English, then what language, right? And if we want to, let's say, uh, target to each of these people in their own language, how we can do that. So that's one use case of this. Another use case would be to have a different communication entirely for different segments of your brand. For example, let's say, so different segments of your customers. So let's say you have VIP customers, people who like, who are in love with your products. Maybe in your communication, you want to change it up, make it more familiar, make it more, you know, warm for these people, right? And let's say for everyone else, you want to send them the standard messages, but for these people, you want them to feel special in the messaging, in the way you communicate to them, right? So for different audiences, right? Both in both cases, let's say in the language case or in this VIP case, you want to give them a different experience so that brand engagement increases, so that they are they become more loyal customers, or that they feel more familiar with this brand now that they've interacted with it so much. And the way to do that is, this is gonna be a little bit advanced, right? But I'm borrowing a flow here, which a brand from Germany is using currently. So we are borrowing that. And in their example, what's happening is they want to target send messages in English and German, right? So they're in Germany, so some people might want to receive messages in English and German. But again, this use case can again be used for any Indian language, or this can be used for any for again my previous case that where I shared key. You want to give people different experiences. VIP customers get a different message, get different type of communication, but normal customers might not get that. XYZ, right? So what we're doing here is we're doing this through contact tags, right? We're checking if a particular contact already has the tag for English or Deutsch, or I'm not sure, German. I'll just say German, right? Uh, and if they have that tag, they'll get a message in German. So let's say the tag is already there, they'll get a message in German. Or if they don't have that tag, they'll get that message in. If they have the English tag, they'll get the message in English. So it's very simple condition block. The contact tag is already there, so English में message भेजो. But it's not there, then send it in. If it's for German, then send it in German. Now, how did these people get a tag? That's the more interesting part, right? So as you can see in this condition block, if none of these conditions match, we're sending them a message for language detection, and we're sending them in both the languages, right? You can assume it to be English and Hindi for our use case, and we are asking them what language you'd like to receive communication in. If people reply with either English or German, right, we'll add these tags, and in the future we already have those tags, so we don't have to ask them again and again if you want English or German. We don't have to ask them. We're saving their preference by adding a contact, right? We're saving that their preference by adding a contact tag, right? And if they don't reply to this, we're also trying to detect it based on their shipping address. Now, if all of your customers are in India, of course, the shipping address country, we have this option here, right? Shipping address country is going to be India for all of you, but you can filter based on their location, based on their shipping address province, which would be their state or city. So let's say you have customers from Gujarat, you want to send them a message in Gujarati, or if you have customers who are in, let's say, Tamil Nadu, you want to send them in Tamil. So what they're doing is, what this brand is doing is, after 1 hour, if no selection has been made, right, they have not selected English or German, they'll add the tag automatically for German if the shipping address, the country is Germany, right? And now if, let's say, we want to do it for India, for example, I'll just go ahead and create that. Any of the following, and I'll go ahead and select shipping address province, right? That's the tag I'll do, and I'll select Gujarat. Similarly, I'll go ahead and create a different, I'm clicking on condition group, right? The difference between condition and condition group is that condition group gives you separate options, right? And let's say, so yeah, that's the thing here. We have a detailed guide on condition blocks if you're confused about that, right? If you go to help.spurnow.com, there's a detailed guide on that. Again, province, and if I want to say Tamil Nadu, right? Now I can then go ahead and add a separate tag. I go and click on action and add Spur tag to contact. I'll select Gujarati, right? And similarly, I'll duplicate this and I'll add Tamil, right? And then I'll connect this to the Gujarati one to Gujarati and the Tamil one to Tamil. Uh, and uh, and then I can send the message in either Gujarati or Tamil or XYZ, right? So this works because we're saving that, their preference. Now, next time when this person is engaging with us, we don't want to ask them again. We already have their preference saved as a contact tag. So let's say this was the shipping message, right? We've sent them the order. Now we want to ask them for a review, right? Okay, you don't have to worry about it. This might look very complicated, but if you see on the top and the bottom, it's actually just the same duplicated. Uh, so because when we were shipping, we asked for their contact. We already saved their preference. This time when we are asking them for review, we'll wait for obviously 1 day. We'll wait for 1 day after the order is delivered, right? So after the order is delivered, we wait for 1 day, and then if the person is English, the preference is English, we're asking them the review in English, right? And if their language is in German, we're asking them for the review in German, as you can see right here. So now, because we have saved the language preference as a contact tag, we can now have different experience, have a differentiated experience for them in any way that we interact with them, right? This might also increase, for example, if someone does not know English, they might be able to be more comfortable in replying to you in Hindi and give more like give their review in Hindi. So this might be able to engage with that. And again, like I said, you can, if you don't want to differentiate it by language, you can do it based on if they are a VIP customer, or if you want to create certain segments. So for example, in this case where it is English and German, you can have VIP and normal. And if a VIP customer, we are asking them for review in a different language, right? You can just the tone of voice changes, or if the way the wording of it changes, you can do that, right? And similarly for normal people, you might want to be a little bit more formal, maybe, right? So yeah, so that's how you can have different experiences and increase your engagement with different brands, right? So it was very to summarize it, it will be to first of all get their preferences. In case of language, we can detect it by their state, or based on a selection that we give them to select, right? What language they want to interact with, and then we're saving this preference as a contact tag. So what that does is we don't have to ask that person again and again. Next time onwards, we can just go ahead and send that message, and we know ki, this person is, uh, you know, from this person needs to be interacted with in this language, right? We can also again target them based on those segments. So for example, in this case it was German and English, right? if, because we are adding it as a contact tag, you can again send them separate broadcasts based on the tag that is on their contact. So this was it about that. This topic got a little bit complicated, but it's just a way of engaging with people. If you have any questions, please do add them in the chat now. Perfect. All right. All right. So our next use case is Instagram live automation. Now, a lot of you guys might have significant people on Instagram, right? Uh, and a very good way of engaging with people on Instagram would be to do an Instagram live. And we also discovered it through when we through the use case of Libas, one of our brands. Right? And in this segment, I'm just going to walk you through what Libas did, right? And how you can do the same. Or because Libas did a very organized thing, you can maybe do a little bit. If you just want to do it impromptu, you just want to try it out, you might not want to go through that to that effort, but it's a very amazing case of this, and I'm just going to walk you through how through Spur, if you use Instagram live automation, right? So under basic automations, you see Instagram live comment reply. By using that, you can boost sales when you're doing an Instagram live, right? So what Libas did is they partnered with an influencer, an Instagram influencer. Thank God it's fashion, right? Uh, what then they set up this flow. So if you see, if I can enlarge this image, they set up this flow. So in Spur, if you go to Instagram live comment reply, you can click here, you can click on edit flow, and you can see by default it is just thank you for your comment on the live, check out our products, right? They set up this flow which link them back to the live or give them a button to view products, and then they were sending them 20 products. These 20 products were the ones featured in the live itself, right? And after 6 hours, they were also messaging them again to hurry up in the sale ends soon, etc., etc., right? So uh, second, yeah. So they set up this flow. Now, then what they did is they did a pre-live promotion. They set it up on Spur. No other setup on Spur is required. You just set up your flow, right? The Instagram live, you can just set up your flow here. No other setup is required on Spur's end. They sent out, thank God it's fashion, sent out, posted a story where they, invited people to the Livas live stream, right? On the live day, you can see that's where the live is happening. And if people are messaging any like link, price, or any of these, right? If they're missing any of the keywords, they're getting a DM, right? The same DM that they set up here, right? They're getting that, and if they click on view products, all their products are here, right? So anyone who's commenting, anyone who's replying to that Instagram live is getting a DM with the product links, and then they can make a purchase right there, right? So, and the Instagram live comments, if you see here, you can click here and you can add the triggers that you want here. So if you want कि कितने का है in any language, right? कितने का है price, link, etc., etc. You can add all of these keywords beforehand, right? And if anyone messages with any of these triggers, they'll get a message in their DM where they can just make a purchase. And what Libas was able to do is get 64 orders within a few hours, right? Their live was just 30 minutes They were live for just 30 minutes. They were able to get 64 orders, and it was the ROI was really good for them. Now, in your case, maybe you might want to do it at a lower scale. You might want to, just go live and be able to just, not collaborate with another creator if you want, etc., etc. Right? So it's very easy. You can just select your keywords. Make sure to select the products. Right? You can go ahead and select the products, whichever ones you want to, uh, you know, showcase, and whichever ones you want to send them as a DM. And then you can just go live. And whenever people are commenting on the live, whenever people are, uh, replying to that live, they'll get a DM, and that's how you can drive sales through Instagram live comment replies. So just go live on Instagram and leverage that audience that you have on Instagram, right? Spur helps you do that with the automatic replies to their Instagram lives. All right. So the last thing I'd like to discuss with you before I talk to you about an offer that we have for people who are attending this webinar, right? If you read the message we initially sent, we have a special offer for people who are attending this webinar. So stick around. The last thing I want to discuss is revenue attribution. So within Spur, if you go to settings, we have this thing called revenue attribution. Now this is mostly just for making sure you get the correct data. So under automation, any automation or under any broadcast, right? Spur shows you how much money you made, the revenue you made, the orders that you got, the number of messages sent in, etc. You get that as well. Message broadcast, if you send out a broadcast, you get the same data, how much money you made, etc. This is our demo account, so everything is zero. But on your end, I'm sure you must have seen that you get certain numbers, right? Now, revenue attribution allows you to configure how we calculate these numbers and show them to you, right? So within revenue attribution, you can select a revenue attribution window, right? If a particular purchase, if particular order is made within 1 day, right? That's when we attribute it to Spur, right? You can attribute it based on whether the person has clicked the message, whether they have opened it, whether it was delivery based, right? Similarly, for workflows. So if you're sending out, let's say, a abandoned cart workflow, and you want the calculation that we're doing when you're seeing that data, you want it to be based on if someone has opened the message or if someone has delivered, or you want to change the attribution window to, let's say, 7 days. So because you're sending the abandoned cart message till 7 days, right? So you can do that here, right? You can change your attribution window and make it so the numbers that you see within Spur are more relevant to what you want to see. So this is not this is a feature, but this is basically for you to get the data that you want, right? And see it in the way that you want, right? So whatever data that you whatever revenue we are making, you can decide how, whatever revenue you guys are making, you can decide how it is attributed to Spur, if at all, and how uh, that attribution works. All right, perfect. If we have any doubts, please do let me know. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna add a bunch of co-hosts. So there are people within Spur who have added as a co-host because I believe they might have something to share with you. Just a second. Perfect.
Hey, hi everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this webinar so far. And can we have a show of, I guess, some reactions or show of hands to, show that you enjoyed it. Awesome. And we have the awesome, great, great. A lot of people raising their hands. So right now, I'm assuming if you're raising your hand, that means you enjoyed the webinar. But yeah, if you do have any questions, please let us know in the inbox on the bottom right hand side, and Divyansh will answer them right away. So let's make it more interactive now. So far, it was mostly Divyansh telling you about all the awesome things that we have built that you might not be using right now. But yeah, if you have any doubts, just type it in the bottom right corner, and Divyansh will answer it right away. Also, please do not sign off right now because we do have a surprise for you after all of the questions are answered. So stay tuned till the end. So all of the customers that are here, we know that they are our best customers and we value them. So make sure to stay till the end, and we have a special offer for all of you. Awesome. So just waiting for all of yours question in the chat. All right.
After this, we'll also be sending you a small survey regarding this webinar, right? This is the first time we are doing something like this, right? So we are also learning, we are also, evolving, and we want to know from you guys whether this was worthwhile for you, what we could have done differently, right? I know I could have maybe been a little bit more interactive, right? So how we can make this better, how we can make this more useful for brands, right? So please do make sure to answer that survey. I'll send it to you by EOD or by tomorrow max to max, right, on WhatsApp. And it'd be really great if you could do that. This was much lower in scale, but maybe we can, have bigger webinars or more topic-based webinars in the future where we are tackling just one topic specifically for a longer period of time, right? So we are experimenting with this. We are trying to figure out what works best for our clients, and we'd love to have your feedback regarding that.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right.
Cool. Okay. Amruta has a question below, so I'll just read it out, and Divyansh, then you can answer.
Hmm.
This is pertaining to the WhatsApp shop product template. We have been facing an issue with connecting our products on there. Is there a workaround?
All right. So it would depend on what issue you are having with connecting, the shop products thing, like what actual issue there is. So it might be subjective. Unless and until I know what issue it is, we might not be able to, diagnose it. But essentially, as long as your WhatsApp catalog is connected, we have a guide on how to do that. If you go to help.spurnow.com, the link I've already posted in chat, you can look up how to connect catalog. I know because I do it quite frequently, how to sync your products with Shopify. Uh, this is the guide. Now, if you're looking for a workaround, there's ways to do that. So if I were to go to your shop products, right? This is our shop products flow. Okay, this one is broken because, like I said, this is a demo account, so we play around with it a lot. Is there any option? All right, let me just first get with this. So if you do not want, let's say your shop products is broken currently, right? What you can do is, I'll just go ahead and create a flow. The You can ignore all this gudagari that our team has done over the time, right? Let's say we want to create a flow. What you can do is, one way is to just send them to your website. That's one way, right? So one way would be to just shop our products on our website. I just created a CTA message here, and I'll create a shop products, and I'll put in the website of my store. So for now, I'll just put in spurnow.com. And whenever someone wants to shop products, I can just send them to our website. A better way of doing this would be to do it through sending them to a particular collection. So I'll just go ahead and create a template. I'll go ahead and select a list message, right? I'll make a list message with, please select the category of products that you are interested in, right? That's the button that, so that's the message that I've created, and now I can just uh, input any category. So category one, for example, and I'm just gonna go category 2 because yeah, category 2, and then category 3. And now what you can do is, instead of taking them to the website directly, right? What you can do is you can take them to individual collections. So now I'll just go ahead and click on text another CTM message and category 1. This will be the message. Go to shop and let's say spurnow.com, and the link would be category 1. You can just go to your website and just copy the link to that collection and then connect it to each of these uh, individually, right? So category 1, if someone is selecting, we are sending them a link to that category. Similarly, if they're selecting category 2, we are sending them a link to that collection, right? And then similarly for category 3, right? So this does not require your catalog to be connected. Like, you can just send people to that collection within Spur. And if you're having some trouble with connecting your catalog, this will work just fine. You can just send them to that particular page, or you can, if you don't want to give them all
Awesome.
of this, you can just
Awesome, awesome. So,
your
so yeah,
website.
I mean, this was a workaround if your WhatsApp catalog is currently not working. But if it is not working, we have also recently made a video on it. I'm going to soon upload it on YouTube, and you can just follow that and make sure your setup is complete for the WhatsApp catalog, and hopefully that works. Because of course, products within WhatsApp work better than just sending links. But this was just in case if your products are not getting connected. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question we have is from Somali Roy. So is there any option to send a message to a customer directly without sending a template? Yeah. So there is only one way to send a message to a customer without sending a template. It's when a service window is open with that customer. And a service window only opens when the customer messages you, right? So if the customer is starting a chat with a hi, hello, hey, or they're starting a chat by clicking a button, only then we can send a message without sending a template. And the unique use case that Divyansh also mentioned in the beginning is with the welcome flow, wherein we can send them a message as soon as they open a chat for the first time, and it can be a free form message. So it is only in those 2 3 scenarios that you can send a free form message instead of a template, right? Moving on to the next question. Siba Das. Same issues we are also facing when customer is clicking on particular products to purchase, product is not shown to them, right? So I mean, we'll have to look at this particular chat, screenshots, and we'll have to test it out. So please, message us on our support WhatsApp number. Deep to Deep Das, an issue can be seen where through the WhatsApp bot after shop product query is made. No replies pertaining to appropriate product catalog is shown in WhatsApp chat, but in Spur inbox, it's shown that product catalog has been shown. So I'm not really able to understand it correctly right now. But maybe you are saying that Inspire it shows that the products have been sent, but it does not show like which products have been sent exactly. So maybe it's that. If I'm correct, then please reply in the message itself. And if not, then we can take this query afterwards.
Yeah. I think Siba also had a query previously, Royal, and I'll just share that with you right now. Siba was wondering if I am sending a broadcast message, right? And a broadcast message is sent, and I want to send up a follow-up broadcast message. Will I be charged again for
Got it.
if
Got
I
it.
am messaging within that 24-hour window?
Got it. Yeah. So yeah, I think that is a really great question, Siva, and this is something that I really wanted to focus on. Right now creating a video series, and this is something that I wanted to focus on. So basically, what happens is, let's say you send a marketing broadcast to 1,000 people, right? And it gets delivered to 400 or 500 people. First of all, we have our delivery boost in place, which will increase your deliverability from 45% to 85%. That's something new that we introduced, so you don't have to worry about your messages not reaching to your customers anymore. And if let's say the message goes to the customer right now, and I send them a marketing message again in the next 24 hours, I won't be charged again. So this is what I highly suggest to all of the customers that are present here. So let's say the next time when you are running a broadcast, then what you do is, let's say after the broadcast, schedule another broadcast, let's say in 4 hours or 5 hours, as like a reminder for the broadcast that you did just right now. It can be like, hey, we sent you this offer 4 5 hours back. uh, that time only 24 hours was left for the offer that we gave you. Now only 16 hours are left. So something like a reminder as a marketing message, and you won't be charged again. Not on Spur, not on WhatsApp. And this is how you can also increase your conversion rates, right? And to make sure that it only goes to people who have received your message, they have gotten the message, or they have at least clicked on the link or something like that. You can create segments for that beforehand, and then schedule the broadcast to those customers. So yeah, if you send them a message again in the next 24 hours, you won't be charged again. But it has to be a marketing message only. If you send a utility message, it will be a different conversation, and you will be charged for a utility conversation, right? So I hope that answers the question. Perfect. Cool. I would now, I think we have covered most of the things, and I really, really appreciate all of you coming here, giving us your time on a busy Tuesday. I know, Tuesdays are busy for brands, for everyone. It's a weekday. So now I would request, our newest member on Spur. By the way, Divyansh is also one of our newest member. He recently joined only, and he's our founding member and handles all of the things customer, right? So anyone who's talking on intercom right now, on WhatsApp right now, it is Divyansh behind the screen helping all of you. So a round of applause for Divyansh. I know Divyansh can't hear your claps, but I'll clap for all of you. Awesome. And this here is Prince. So Prince just joined us last week, right? This is, I think, his second week only right now, but he has also become an expert of Spur because he's also handling all the customer support queries and everything. And Prince here has a unique, an exclusive offer here for all of the customers that are present on the call. So yeah, Prince, over to you.
All right, great guys. Hi, I hope all of you are doing well. I have an amazing surprise for you, and I know